and welcome to Make Chaos. So in a previous video, we talked about the history of Oswald the Lucky Rabbit and how Walt Disney lost the rights to him to the evil, backstabbing Charles Mintz at Universal Studios, which eventually led to the creation of Mickey Mouse. If you haven't seen the video already, be sure to check it out for some great insight as to how Oswald came to be, as well as like Mickey Mouse and basically the entire story of how everything happened. But a few days ago, we learned that Oswald is officially joining Disney Dreamlight Valley in the new update trailer for Act 2 of Rift in Time. We have seen a glimpse of Oswald in front of music notes and are told that there will be some sort of communication barrier that we will have to overcome. So I wanted to explain what this probably means in this video. We are going to talk about the historical significance of Mickey Mouse's first publicly released cartoon, Steamboat Willie, and why, in the game, it's looking like Oswald will not be able to speak, at least at first. We'll probably unlock like his voice and everything in like quests, but yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So it was September in 1927 when the first Oswald the Lucky Rabbit cartoon was released under Universal Studios and titled Trolley Troubles. We can see a nod to the cartoon in the game as it looks like they have recreated the trolley as well as Oswald's car that was featured in a number of his cartoons. At the release of Trolley Troubles, Hollywood was still in its silent film era. Films often had music playing alongside the visuals, but audio and sound effects like talking, everything like that, they were not synchronized to the visuals of the film. After Walt Disney lost the rights to Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, which we talked about in my last video, Mickey was created. Walt Disney and his loyal animator and co-creator of Mickey Mouse, of iWorks, as well as like a small team of animators and like other creative people, worked long and hard to quickly release the first Mickey Mouse cartoon, not Steamboat Willie, but plain Crazy, in an attempt to keep the Walt Disney Company afloat after it was in turmoil from losing Oswald. Walt, however, was not successful in getting theaters to feature the cartoon, and Walt was back to the drawing board trying to figure out how does he keep his company from going any further downhill. Walt recalled the recent film The Jazz Singer. It was produced by Warner Brothers Studio and was the first ever film ever that synchronized sound to the visuals. So Walt knew, being an innovator, that he had to do the same with Mickey Mouse. He had to figure it out. He wasn't sure how to do it, his entire team wasn't sure how to do it, but they had to figure it out. Walt Disney had already been working on Mickey's second cartoon, Gallopin' Gaucho, but began putting emphasis on a new cartoon, Steamboat Willie, which would feature synchronized sound. Steamboat Willie eventually debuted at the Colony Theater on Broadway on November 18th, 1928, and made history as the first ever cartoon with synchronized sound. However, Variety magazine would say about the cartoon that it wasn't the first animated cartoon to be synchronized sound effects or with synchronized sound effects, but the first to attract favorable attention. This one represents a high order of cartoon ingenuity cleverly combined with sound effects. The union brought laughs galore. Giggles came so fast at the colony, they were stumbling over each other. So basically, yes, it was the first with synchronized sound, but it was also the first that was just like phenomenal. It was sound that took Mickey to the screen, but it was the love that Walt and his team put into their work that made it a masterpiece. Steamboat Willie received raving reviews and was considered a cinematic milestone. Oswald the Lucky Rabbit cartoons would not have synchronized sound until almost a year later on August 22nd, 1929 with My Pal Paul. But by then the popularity of Oswald was already beginning to fade, which we talked about as well in my last video. Because of all of this, Oswald is probably not going to be able to talk because up until that point, up until 1929, he wasn't able to. It wasn't until Steamboat Willie came around that cartoons had synchronized sound. So I'm thinking that we're going to have to do quests that synchronize sound, maybe even like doing stuff with like Steamboat Willie. Maybe we'll get like a skin for Steamboat Willie. I don't know. But like we'll probably have to do like synchronized sound quests, which is like, I don't know. I love the Disney history. Oh, also most of my information once again came from this Walt Disney biography, this big boy right here, titled Walt Disney, The Triumph of American Imagination by Neil Gabler. I highly recommend it. I've had it like literally half my life. It's one of my favorite books ever. So that's where all of the information is coming from. So yeah. Also, before they announced that it was going to be Oswald, I was going to do a video on Figment. I even checked out Figment's comic books from my library system. So I don't know if we still want a video on Figment, like a deep dive into Figment, like his history, his comics, like everything. Because honestly, the community built up such a hype over Figment. I feel like there is a chance eventually down the line we might be seeing him because like they know that he's in demand at this point. Right, so let me know. Let me know if you guys are excited for Oswald. Personally, I love the way he's looking so far. It looks like they are really just tuning into Oswald as a character and putting those little quirks in him. I don't know. It's really charming to see him on the screen, and I cannot wait for Wednesday, May 1st, when we finally get to meet him. If you guys like the video, feel free to give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel for more Disney Dreamlight Valley content, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!